Anyway, I say all that to say, that's how trans people make me feel.
Today we welcome you to a deep exploration of the mind of one of the boldest and most controversial comedians of our time, Dave Chappelle. Recently, Chappelle has faced a significant backlash from the LGBTQ+ community, with many calling for his shows to be cancelled. However, instead of backing down, Chappelle has transformed that opposition into inspiration, delivering unprecedented, sharp, and humorous commentary. So today we will delve into how Dave Chappelle uses humor to confront and critique woke culture through his jokes. Buckle up, because this is sure to be an exciting ride.
So much so that everybody on the crew called him Andy. I didn't know any of that. I just went there to meet him, and when he walked into the room where we were supposed to meet, I screamed, "Jim Carrey!" And everyone said, "No!" Call him Andy. And I didn't understand. And then he came over and he was acting weird. I didn't know he was acting like Andy Kaufman. Just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, "Hello." Andy? Now, in hindsight, how fucking lucky am I that I got to see one of the greatest artists of my time immersed in one of his most challenging processes ever. I'm very lucky to have seen that. But as it was happening, I was very disappointed. Because I wanted to meet Jim Carrey, and I had to pretend this nigga was Andy Kaufman all afternoon. And he was clearly Jim Carrey. I could look at him and I could see he was Jim Carrey. Anyway, I say all that to say, that's how trans people make me feel. Here we go.
Chappelle began his performance by sharing a story about his encounter with Jim Carrey, who immersed himself in the role of Andy Kaufman to the point that even off camera, he wanted people to see him as Andy Kaufman, not Jim Carrey. This left Chappelle feeling confused, disappointed, and somewhat deflated, mirroring his feelings when witnessing the ongoing debate about gender identity. The issue isn't about dismissing anyone's experiences, but rather exploring the complexities of identity, as sometimes what you see doesn't fully reflect reality. From this confusion, Chappelle leads us to his next topic, his thoughts on the alphabet of gender identities.
But you see, what I didn't realize at the time, and what Kevin had to learn the hard way, is we were breaking an unwritten and unspoken rule of show business. And if I say it, you'll know that I'm telling you the truth. The rule is that no matter what you do in your artistic expression, you are never, ever allowed to upset the alphabet people. You know who I mean. Those people that took 20% of the alphabet for themselves. I'd say the letters, but I don't want to conjure their anger. It's too late now. I'm talking about them L's and them B's and them G's and the T's. People be surprised. I have friends, all kinds of letters. Everybody loves me and I love everybody. I got friends who are L's, I got friends who are B's, and I got friends who are G's. But the T's hate my fucking guts. And I don't blame them. It's not their fault, it's mine. I can't stop telling jokes about these things. I don't want to write these jokes, but I just can't stop. You know, you hear all those letters together all the time, LBGT, LBGT, and you think it's just one big movement. It's not. All those letters are their own movement. They just travel in the same car together.
Chappelle doesn't hesitate to candidly share his observations about the LGBTQ+ community, which he often humorously refers to as the alphabet people. He points out the unwritten rule in showbiz that you can joke about almost everything except them, the people in the LGBTQ+ community. You know who I'm talking about. Chappelle quips referring to those who have claimed 20 letters of the alphabet for themselves. This is a classic move by Chappelle. blending humor with a biting critique of societal norms and the sacred aspects of our time. But if you think Chappelle is done with the alphabet, just wait until you hear his thoughts on equality in
So much
sports.
kindness.
There are many
Man, I know.
surprises ahead.
When I watch sports, I be thinking about, think about, okay, say LeBron James changed his gender. You know what I mean? Okay, can he stay in the NBA, or, because he's a woman, does he have to go to the WNBA where he will score 840 points a game? What does it actually mean to be equal? You know what I mean? Like, if women are actually equal to men, then there would be no WNBA, would there? You would just be good enough to play in the NBA with us. Or, here's another idea that's gonna be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
Chappelle continues the show with a pressing question about gender equality in sports, using a humorous story about LeBron James and whether he should play in the WNBA or the NBA if he were to transition. Chappelle suggests that if women were truly equal to men, there would be no need for the WNBA. Everyone could compete in the NBA. From this, Chappelle emphasizes the complexity of overlooking biological differences to achieve social fairness. His viewpoint isn't just a joke. It's a challenge to how we understand equality in a complicated world, posing the question of whether we should ignore biological differences to advocate for equity, or if we are simply creating more trouble for ourselves. Chappelle doesn't shy away from asking these tough questions, even if the answers may not be easy to hear. And when it comes to fairness, or the lack thereof, Chappelle also has a few words to say about Caitlyn Jenner winning the Woman of the Year award.
Caitlyn Jenner, whom I've met, wonderful person, Caitlyn Jenner was voted Woman of the Year. Her first year as a woman. Ain't that something? Beat every bitch in the...
Chappelle finds it amusing and perplexing that Caitlyn Jenner, a transgender woman who became female just a year ago, could surpass all other women in America to win the title of Woman of the Year. He jokes that the women who have dedicated their lives to their careers might feel a bit cheated. This is a humorous yet profound comment from Chappelle about how society sometimes bends the rules to fit the narrative they want to tell, even if it doesn't make complete sense. But don't get too comfortable, because Chappelle has more to say about identity, particularly when it comes to race.
It's like that white black bitch that's in the news all the time. Rachel Dolezal. She always says that. She's a white woman, but then she dressed up like a nigga and shot her way up to the very top of blackness. And I always wanted to meet her just so I could understand. I just wanted to have dinner with her so I could just look in her eyes and call her a nigger to her face. The fuck is that bitch talking about? I identify black. That is trans talk, ladies. Stop biting. Stop biting. There's a big difference between her and a trans. The difference between her and a trans is I believe transgenders. I don't understand them either, but I know they mean what they say. Them niggas cut their dicks off. That's all the proof I need. I've never seen somebody just throw their dick away. Don't need it.
He dives deeper into the story of Rachel Dolezal, a white woman famous for identifying as black. He compares her situation to that of transgender individuals, noting that while he may not fully understand, he believes in the efforts of transgender people to affirm their identity. This is a sharp observation about the complexities of identity, whether it pertains to race or gender, and how society navigates these often murky waters. And speaking of murky waters, Chappelle is not afraid to discuss the complexities of woke culture and the issues surrounding it. These are just a few exemplary instances of how Dave Chappelle employs humor to confront the most controversial topics, challenging us to laugh at the absurdity of life even when it touches on sensitive issues. So what have we learned from Chappelle's fearless journey into the culture wars? From identity and equality to woke culture, Chappelle does not shy away from anything. Instead, he handles it all with wit, intelligence, and a hefty dose of controversy. In a world where everyone is trying to play it safe, Chappelle reminds us that sometimes the best way to make a point is through a joke. And remember, the future of society will depend on our ability to uphold free speech while respecting diversity and differing opinions within the community. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to continue joining us in future videos. Have a great day!